Good afternoon, you're watching Campus France Live. Thanks a lot to be there with us. Today we're going to talk about higher education in France and to talk about the very interesting field of motion design. If you're interested in animated picture, moving, typography and sound design, you're at the right place. We're going to discover the professional bachelor certification in motion design of Gobelins Paris. To talk more about the program, I'm very pleased to welcome Laure CHAPALAIN. Hello.
Hello.
You're the Gobelins Paris program coordinator, and we're also with you. Hello.
Hello.
You're motion designer and Gobelins Paris alumni. You can begin to ask all the questions that you have about this program. First of all, Laure, can you introduce yourself in a few words?
Yeah. I'm the coordinator of 2 graphic motion design trainings in Gobelins, and I'm a teacher in this department.
And you, can you tell us a few words about you, where you're from, what you did before, and what you're doing right now?
So I come from Taiwan, and it's been 12 years studying and finally working in France. And now as you said, I'm a motion designer, also art director.
Laure, can you tell us a few words about Gobelins Paris?
Yes, Gobelins Paris is a leader among schools for the visual arts. It offers programs in all image-related fields, from design to production, in all its forms, and from printing to virtual reality.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to discover more the motion design field thanks to a little trainer. We will be back just after that.
Yeah. The sidewalk told me the path taken. He said the road less traveled is for the humble and patient. He said the road carries risks and many broken bridges. It's lined with barbed wire, not some pretty picket fences. And the feet didn't tread over me. Know this focus for roses, and you get these cockroaches and vultures that are supposed to eat you. When the culture defeats you, on your knees screaming peace, dude. See, y'all, we seem tall, then we all meet God, and we seem small till we meet these friends that teach us to sling rocks and sling shots, and we sleep on spring rocks, and they think not, but only do it when it seems hot. Metaphorically simple, story, keep it in your mental. Words from my mind to yours, via pen and pencil, via instrumental. Been I'm fucking up your speaker, the sidewalk talk, smart destruction of...
What is exactly the Bachelor in Motion Design that you offered at Gobelins Paris?
This training enables you to design and produce video contents for mobile devices, for immersive experiences, or for any kind of screens, and to deliver your message combining animated picture, moving typography, narrative, and sound.
And is it a new program, and what kind of degree is that?
This is a new program, but it's based on a French one that exists since 10 years approximately, and it gives a graphic motion designer diploma, which is an equivalent to a bachelor.
Mm-hmm. And it's a one-year program?
Yes, it is.
And full-time for the students?
Yes, it's full-time for the students.
And in which language is it taught? You said it was possible to have it in French, but it is an English one?
Yeah, this one is in English.
Okay, fully in English.
Yes.
And for how many students is it designed?
It's for 25 students.
Okay. Maybe you can explain us why you decided to choose this program, what interested you in this bachelor?
In that moment, actually, I didn't finish my master degree of art director. It's another school in Paris. And because in Paris, we will always have porte ouverte. That's mean like open doors for like if you want to know more about the school, you can come to see what students doing, and even you got the chance to talk with the teachers. And I got a friend who want to try Gobelins, so that's why I came to visit Gobelins with her. And I saw there's a lot of screen in a classroom of motion design, and I started asking them, and they told me it's in my moment that it's a 1 year formation. And what is good for me is that because I didn't finish my school before, so I think if I can do both, 1 year is possible. And it's also in the same time the moment I discover a little bit motion animation, and I think it's very interesting to like developing more this skill.
It was the opportunity for you to take a gap year to study there and then go back to art direction. Why was it interesting? Because you had with the art direction training, you had a global perspective, but with this one, it was more concrete, more in the details of what we can do.
Yes, that's what I want to progress on and like more like develop on this field.
Laure, can you maybe talk a little bit about the pedagogy? Is it more theoretical? Is it more practical? How does it work?
At Gobelins, we are on a project-based learning from concept to production. So we have a lot of workshops. We mix theoretical courses and practical courses. And the students learn to work alone and in groups, and they use the softwares of 2D compositing, 3D. They learn how to defend their work, to speak about their work and highlight them. And so they learn how to create a concept and an art direction, to develop storytelling, to edit, to animate, and to direct a video.
I imagine that they have professionals in front of them to give them the real clues, the real tools.
Yeah, all the teachers are professionals.
Maybe you can tell us a few words about some of the projects you had the opportunity to conduct?
Yeah, of course. I remember we got a project with Pâté, and it was the year of the chicken. And that's also the moment we started learning 3D. So what is very good of this program is that we learn 3D in the same time. We got teachers there taking care of us. And after school, we working team. And in the same time, we work with the real client. So like this, during 1 year, I remember we got like 16 projects.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so what is very good that once we finish school, we actually already have a portfolio.
And you know how to deal with clients, you
Yes.
had deadlines to work with. In terms of content, in terms of different classes, what was, you were talking about 3D, what were the different other classes that you had?
We learn all the technique together. We didn't choose. So sometimes we got, even there's one time because Gobelins, we got also animation course. And I remember there's one time a teacher from 2D animation, he come to teach us a little bit 2D animation too. And we got 3D, we got a tournage with the real camera, and storyboard course of storyboard, and also the course about the
painting?
No, not
drawing?
the paintings. Like if you're doing the contract or everything about more paper stuff.
Law and stuff.
Yes,
Okay, the paperwork. Okay.
Yeah, so that's very good. Is we got the real project, real deadline, real feedback from the clients, and also the help from the school and teachers.
That's interesting, because when you're working in art, so sometimes you draw stuff and you see them for another project that you're not part of it. So it's interesting to have this kind of soft skills. That's really interesting. Laure, after the program, the idea is that they can work directly. They know how to work. They have all the skills to work.
Yes, exactly.
We're now going to talk about the admission and tuition fees. What background, first of all, do you require to apply?
They must have completed an audiovisual art or graphic design or visual art studies in 2 years.
Okay.
Yes.
And then what are the different steps to apply? What kind of documents or content do they have to submit?
Yeah, they have to submit a PDF portfolio with a selection of their best works, but they can show animation if they have already some. They can show typography, graphic design, paintings, drawings. Extra.
So it's not possible to come if you don't have a previous background with this industry.
No, it would be complicated.
How was your admission process? What kind of work did you show? What was the question that you had from the administration? How was it for you?
It's been a while. I think I graduated from like 5 years ago, and I remember I prepared what I have done from the school of my master degree of art direction. So I remember my books most of them have graphic and illustration works, and the other half are some few animation tests I did, and that's also why I want to develop more with Gobelins. And I remember there was 3 teachers, including Laure. I think Laure is the one who play the kind one, the kind of one during yes. And the questions are like very basic question, like why you come and what you want to learn, and also they will pick up some project in your profile to say to ask, for example, what is your job what is your role in this project, and why it comes this project, like some very basic questions.
Laure, what is the calendar to apply? I think last week we had a session, but there is a second session in April.
Yes, exactly. The second session deadline is on Thursday, April the 27th, and then there will be interviews in June.
After the session of April, it's done. There is no more session.
No more session.
So if you're interested in the motion design field, it's right now it's time to apply. What are you exactly looking for in terms of student profile? You don't want, I imagine, to have people already knowing everything about motion design, but they need to have the feeling about this this discipline. They have to want to study motion design.
We like students who have creativity, who are creative, curious. We like enthusiasm. I remember that when she applied, she said that she was in love with animation, and it was, I remember because it was so great, you know. So we like students who are passionate for the visual creation, who have abilities to tell a story, and we also like students who want to share with classmates and teachers. It's very important to want to learn from the others.
That's interesting that we're going to talk about student life, but there is a spirit. It's not like competitive between the students. They are working together as they can work after together. We're going to talk in a few minutes about that, but there is another important question for the people watching us today. The tuition fees, how much does it cost to study at Gobelins Paris in this Bachelor of Motion Design?
Yes. So for European nationals, it's 12,500 euros per year, and for non-European nationals, it's 14,950 euros.
These are the costs to study, but there are also the different costs of living in Paris. How much does it cost to live in Paris, Laure, in general?
Well, I think approximately it costs 1,300 euros to live in Paris, because you have the living costs and accommodation.
Depending on the kind of life you want to have, but yeah, it seems pretty honest to have it in mind. So to have this money to study, do you propose some scholarship opportunities to study at Gobelins Paris?
Yes, the school has set up some scholarships, schemes, with partners based on specific criteria such as nationality or age. So you have to go on the website for more information, and you also can visit the Campus France website that provides a list of scholarships available to study in France. And you also can contact Campus France offices in your country and maybe look for opportunities in your country.
It was 5 years ago for you, but can you describe a little bit how was your life at Gobelins Paris? How was it for you? How were your days? What do you remember for the student life you had at Gobelins Paris?
Because my before I come to Gobelins, my other school is a bit smaller, and so we need to share space. So we don't have a full day to really stay in the class. But in Gobelins, it's different. Like we really stay everyone together with Laure from the morning to the end of the day. So it changed a lot. It makes people like getting more close. And also most of our projects are teamworks. So it's not like competitions. Like as you said, the atmosphere is more I cannot say friendly, but it's more like we need each other to really like get the final result. And so it's a really good time. At the end, I feel like we are more like family than because we see each other every day. And I remember maybe the best time is we taking McDo takeaway on the park next by under the sun.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Where is it? What park is it in Paris?
It's a small park next by, but it's not it's changed the address.
Okay.
I was in older.
In the older building, because where is the school located now?
It's in the northeast of Paris at Porte des Lilas.
Okay, so that's a great place too, and you have plenty of McDonald's too if you want to make some takeouts, and I think some parks too. And for you, Yuhu, because people watching us, sometimes it's a big decision for them to leave their country and come to study in France. Did you have some fears, some doubts before coming to France, and how did it finally go for you?
Of course, it's very scared because I got the chance because my aunt's living here, but it's still different. Like I have family here, but all my friends, all my past life, and all my culture is totally different, and even the language. I think the French probably scared me the most. And
because you weren't a French speaker before coming to France?
I didn't speak any French word before coming to France, yeah. But when I go into Gobelins, I already spent years in Paris, so that's why I can speak French. But what I can say is that you really need to be more open and being more tolerant for everything. Otherwise, because I got a lot of friends, they try to like come to France or come to other country to studying or working, and not all of them can finally stay. But what I feel is that you need to be more open, like
open-minded, open to see a new culture, a new way of life, a new way to socialize with people, because it's quite different in Paris.
Yeah, you can being afraid of talking to people, but the most important for me is that you need to be tolerant. You don't put every bad things like becomes big. Like you try to ignore the small things and try to enjoy the life.
That's really interesting about the French spirit. In Europe, sometimes the red flags, because they're not that red. Laure, what are the different job opportunities for students after graduating? Where can we find them?
You can work in a lot of different kind of fields. You can work in advertisements, of course, branding, immersive fields like video mapping, vidging. You can work also in the title sequences area, for information medias, for cultural institutions.
What we can say, and what the people watching us today can imagine, is that companies now, they're making more and more videos, more and more motion design, so it's a really key feature, really rated in the professional world.
Yes.
And in the Gobelins Paris, do you have somebody, an advisor, to talk about your career? Because I don't know, when you arrive, you think, maybe I want to work in the movie industry, and then you work in the advertising, and now I want to change for advertising. How does it work? Do you have someone to talk to?
Well, all the teachers are professionals, so you can speak with them because they are really open-minded, and there will be also lessons to talk and prepare the students about the future.
And for you, Yuhu, what were the opportunities that you had after graduating?
I think the biggest opportunity when I graduate from Gobelins is that we got so many projects during school. And we also touch plenty of skills, different skills, 2D animation, even a little bit photo. And so that's why when we finished Gobelins, even in that moment, I got the 1 year's formation, but my portfolio is like very rich. And also Gobelins is a very well-known school, very famous name in the world about in this art area. So it's at the end, it's not too difficult to get the collaboration after school.
Laure, what would be your last advice for the student watching us today and who plan to come to France to study at Gobelins Paris?
I think I would say show us that you're creative and open-minded, and you will be more than welcome.
That's a good advice. Thanks a lot, Laure CHAPALAIN and Huyu, for having been with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks to you for having watched us. If you want more information about the Bachelor and about Gobelins Paris, don't hesitate to visit the website of Gobelins Paris. And don't forget the deadline, the 27th of April. It's the last day for you to apply. Thanks a lot for having watched us, and see you soon on Campus France Live.